Welcome to Home Cinema and Tech Review. In this video, I got huge amount of notes, okay, lots of pages. If I turn them like this, I will be reviewing the Wanbo T2 Ultra. I know you guys are waiting. This is the most detailed review of Wanbo T2 Ultra. I promise, because I always get into the details. So, it is right here and the picture is there. What you have seen until now, 115 up top size image. I will close the ambient lights of this projector, but I'm going to open it up back again. What we are going to do in this video, I will in the beginning give you everything as I do all my videos, and you're going to watch different sections to see the specs in live action. What I'm going to talk about T2 Ultra, Wanbo T2 Ultra, I'm going to tell you the brightness, how the Android 11 system works, how good it is. I'm going to talk about the sound level of this device. I'm going to talk about the real Entie lumen value. I'm going to talk about speaker quality. There's another dedicated video that I created. You can find it in the description for the speaker quality test. It's a long test. I'm going to tell you the specs, and I'm going to tell you probably the latency of the HDMI. So if you're planning to connect to a gaming console, we're going to talk about that, and I'm going to tell you where this Wanbo T2 Ultra sits in the Wanbo lineup if you are wondering to buy something from Wanbo brand. By the way, if you're going to buy any Wanbo brand, you can find the description below my discount link for the Wanbo products, so you can help the channel and you can help yourself get a better discounted price. So I'm going to close the lights and talk about the specs. First, the specs needs to go away. While I talk about the specs, this is an Android 11 licensed device, and I'm going to tell you in the spec section. But while I am talking, I'd like you to see some beautiful picture behind us so we can talk clearly. Sorry about the commercials, but commercials also support the channels. So I'm going to go back a little bit, move back and forth. By the way, you're seeing the Android is working pretty fast. I'm going to double check the resolution in the beginning. Don't worry, this won't take long. It's a full HD right now. So this is a full HD capable, pretty good, very sharp projector, as you can see. By the way, I want to remind you, this is a 115-inch-ish image because this screen is 135, 3-meter length. Maybe this is 120-inch. I haven't measured it, but it's above 100, at least 110 sizes. So I'd like to talk about first the technical specs from the website, get that out of the way. You're going to see it on the screen, and I will talk about the full conclusion, and you're going to see something interesting. This is a surprising video for both of us, like for me and you. So Wanbo T2 Ultra is called 500 Entie lumen in the declaration. I will tell you my results. Android 11 licensed with DRM L1, so it's a secure device with licensed apps and Google Play license, so you can play Netflix and Amazon like real full HD. There's no problem there. It's good to know because you're going to put your account in it. 120-degree rotating gimbal. You're going to see the gimbal in action, but I'm going to show you in the dedicated section so you can rotate it, fire to the ceiling, and before sleep you can watch movies and enjoy movies. It's very good, enjoyable stuff. Other than that, we got ASA 3.0, automatic focus, automatic keystone, automatic screen fit, and obstacle avoidance. So all these things makes Wanbo T2 Ultra one of the most practical projectors from Wanbo so far, especially if you add a gimbal to it, like rotating ability, that really adds another use scenarios to the device. Other than that, we got dual bass diaphragm for bass unit. At the back, we got a passive bass drive, probably. I'm calling it passive, but there's a drive there. That increases the internal cavity and that increases the bass quality and clearance. So if you got a more space, you got better acoustics, and you're going to hear that. So T2 Ultra, I'm going to talk about the conclusion. I need to finish the specs. Wanbo declares 30 decibel fan noise. I'm going to tell you my results. 2,500 to 1 contrast ratio, 20,000 hour plus LED life, which is probably 10 years, depending on your usage, but 8 to 10 years roughly. The Chromecast and 2.4 gigahertz to 5 gigahertz dual band Wi-Fi, which is more than enough. And the maximum screen on the description, as usual, it says 180 inch. We're going to take a look at this, don't worry. And on the specs underneath the Wanbo's website is about 45 inch small size to 140 inch up top. I'm going to check to that, like literally this is not the device that you want to project 185, but I'm going to test it for you. Can it focus? Can it be usable? We're going to take a look at that in the first conclusion section right here, because I'm going to do things alive. I like it. This video won't be short, so get yourself a stop there. Get yourself a cup of coffee or a tea. We will continue. So the real brightness level, it is declared 500, like I told you in the description. What I measured was, let me just take a look at it again. In the standard mode, ANSI lumen value was 274.83 in my conclusion. We can call it 275 ANSI lumen. But around the corners, a little bit of vignetting, so just wear a little bit, because everything quite sharp, and considering the price, this is a very sharp product. So around the corners, if I include everything, 260 to 275 ANSI lumen, which means this is more than half of the declared brightness, and it's a good thing because majority of companies declaring higher. Even the TW7000 from Epson that I got 4K $1,500 projector was declaring a higher value, like it was getting the 70% of the declaration. So for this price range, it is normal and it is powerful enough. In a darkroom setup, you can use it at best picture quality, 100 inch. And if you go big like this without any problem, I'm quite happy with the results. I've used this device and still using it for a week now. I think I am quite pleased. I wasn't expecting something like this out of this price with these specs combined, like with the license, autofocus, gimbal, and everything, with a pretty much decent speaker. Other than that, brightness will be your friend, don't worry. So it is a 1.5 kilo device, by the way, spec based, if I missed it. And what do I want to talk about? The declaration of the noise level was 30 decibels, and you're going to see a dedicated section where I measure the noise level. It's catching the 30 to 32 decibel up top, so you can't hear this device. If you have a gaming console, you will hear the gaming console more than this one, and if you just click once or twice to the audio settings, you won't be hearing your projector. That's about it. So this is a pretty silent device. The intake is on the front, the exhaust is on the back. The only thing that I can tell you is, if you're going to sit closer to the projector, some way of your, around the shoulder or around your chest, you will feel the air coming to you. Because first time that I realized when I was testing, there's air coming from somewhere. What's that wind? Cause of that wind? But it's the device. It's silent, but it's really cooling thing down. It really works. After a long time, you won't have any problem with the cooling. I can tell you that. By the way, it's an optically sealed device. So if you're carrying too much of a dust, or if you're going to use it a little bit of outdoor, maybe on the balcony or terrace, like behind the house, kind of like solution, this is the one to go. Optical sealed, everybody asks. Other than that, what do we have? What do we have? I'm taking a look at the notes. So everybody wonders let's go from here, the latency, because if you want to connect your gaming console like Xbox Series X, PlayStation 5, you wonder the quality. Let's just get back for that. And for that, I'm going to go here to the search. I'm going to clear it out, and I'm going to click the 4K gameplay. I want to show you some gameplay footages so you get a better idea. I'm going to show you with the Xbox, don't worry. So this is from a PC RTX 4090, I guess. Let's just check the game specs, the YouTube specs. So this is a full HD video, so we can continue. This is Forza Horizon 5, and I'm going to talk about the latency while the game plays. First thing is important, different latency modes I've tried. I'm going to move forward a little bit. It's a dark scene. This is an auto-exposed scene, by the way, if you're wondering. That's why some of the contrast might not come through the camera, but contrast is good. I'm going to fix the exposure to show you the picture quality and the modes in a dedicated section, like I always do. So this video has sections. You can go back and forth, no problem. This is the conclusion. I'm trying to give you everything as packaged as it can be. The latest, I made two tests with the standard mode and the gaming mode. Some people says it doesn't change too much of a thing, but with my tests, interestingly, standard mode was performing like you're going to see a slow motion video capture, and you can stop and check for yourself how much of the latency is in the two different modes. Standard mode was 28, 27, 55, 69, 54, 55, 54, 57, and 42. So it's interestingly, I can call it in average about 50-ish milliseconds in the standard mode, but when I put it into the gaming mode, interestingly, 68, 68, 69, 68, 54, 69, 68, 42. So if I can average that out, it is above 60. So interestingly, when you put it on the game mode, it's not performing as you imagine. So the standard is the king at the moment. I think this could be changing in the future updates because we have seen it with the X5 regular. It changed a lot. X5 Pro has a lot less latency. So if you're going to focus on gaming and if you got the budget, I think you can go in a direction of X5 Pro into the gaming side of things. And I'm going to give you kind of like a Wanbo internal solution, which model is for you, kind of like idea. Don't worry, I will come to that point. So with that latency out of the way, we're going to talk about the audio. There is a dedicated audio video that I've shot about 12 to 14 minutes. You're going to hear every bit of audio out of this. It has a passive drive at the back. It has internal bigger cavity. It has two 5 watts of speakers. Probably it is quite close to, I think design base, it's also close to the Mozart one, which I quite like because it's simplistic, Bauhaus language style, design language style, like a IKEA style, Mac, Apple style, simplistic design, and it looks elegant wherever you put it, and it's efficient design, by the way, while the cooling base, noise base. So you will like the audio quality, but in terms of amount, interestingly, speakers are side firing. So if you're not on the sides, a little bit of back, the audio is going around the sideways, and that's a directional issue. So you will feel a little less stronger, but considering this is not a 50 watt or 100 watts of huge speakers like dedicated Bluetooth ones, if you're going to match the visual with the audio, I suggest you to get a bigger speaker and connect it to it with a Bluetooth or 3.5, or like me, use a headphone, earbuds, Bluetooth, anything goes, and it works pretty good. And on that sense, I think you will like the speaker. I can't put this speaker between the DaVinci One Pro and the Mozart One level. So it has a decent bass, pretty solid depth to it, and clearance is pretty good if you're going to listen. But if you push the top of the audio, because it has a 10 watts of speakers, 5 watts, and the passive drives, it can lag the total amount. And also, of course, at the limit, it might just a little bit of vibrate and get into the limit of the drives. But that's normal for the price range. What do we expect? Like, it's literally delivering, trying to deliver everything, and it is delivering in a decent way. So if you're going to use it in a small room, bedroom, you will enjoy it, no problem, and that's it. I don't want to say anything negative because actually there is no negative thing, but you're going to see it on the screen. So you can listen to yourself and decide whatever you want to decide, and let me know under the comment section. So other than that, we got an Android 11 and L1 license, and it's a security issue. I'm going to talk about that. It's a big deal. You can update everything. So that's a nice touch. There is a Google Play Store. You can install everything. You can update everything. And interestingly, this device hardware is probably stronger than you think, but there is a catch, and I will talk about this. Probably nobody is telling this. It's not a negative thing, but if you're a geek, this is just something that you might want to learn, and it will be included in my final section of this section, where I tell you where this T2 Ultra really sits in the Wanbo lineup. AIDA64 is a spec showing program if you're using an Android device, okay? So right now we are at the system menu, and as you can see, the manufacturer shows Skyworth Digital. So we got a blue Android licensed dongle built inside. So the manufacturer is Skyworth Digital. So it's a nice thing. So you're going to get an update. Dongles are most certainly better because they will be updated all in the same time. So if you use it with a couple of different products or a couple of different companies use them, when they get updated by Android base, they get upgraded all together. It's just like TCL TVs. That's what I love about it. Like literally, if you go buy a TCL TV like me, they have Android built inside of them, but it will show TCL TV. That's about it. So you don't know the dongle version. So if you match up all these dongles for certain series of TVs, when you update it, they will be updated all together. So board is HP47DX2, and the hardware we got is AM Logic. It shows here. And the product is HP4703 Skyworth. We got a 1 GB of memory and probably 8 GB of storage, but internal storage right now is 4.3 because I've installed stuff and internal operating system is consuming a little bit there. So I'm going to go to the CPU. As you can see, we got a 4-core here and the 4X ARM Cortex A35, 1.8 GHz and 64-bit ARM version 8 at 32-bit mode. So this is about it. When I came the display, this is not a shocking truth. This GPU renderer, which is GPU, if you know the CPU, GPU is delivering the 3D power and enhancement like playback functions and stuff. So the Mali G31, it's not the strongest out there, but it performs quite good. I will show you with a game. And the screen resolution is interestingly 720p. Interesting, right? So I will open up the room lights to show myself to you and get closer to the camera. This is nothing bad about it. I think this is a smart way to go. If you go higher on the resolution unnecessarily for the menu, your Android hardware could get slower, just like a mobile phones. Like my S24 or my S22 Ultra, around 4K resolution, but I always drop down the resolution at least half, 2K-ish. The reason is even the most advanced hardware could get slower with the unnecessary high-res image. So I think Wanbo is getting faster, which I will talk, because the menu is very fast. Considering the specs of this device, menu is quite fast. That's a solution. So I think they've done a good job to resolution-based the menu 720p and fasten everything up. That's why the system is working pretty fast. Everything goes accordingly. My Realme 4K dongle does the same thing. It's a 4K dongle that I connect over $2,000 projectors daily. I use it, but when I push the menu into a 4K, it just slows down, moves like 10 FPS. Just jaggedy. But if I keep the menu full HD, play YouTube 4K, I don't have any issues. So I think this is the way to go because I've seen it just not with the AIDA64, but I've seen it with also Antutu or similar benchmark, GFX benchmark kind of like Android benchmark programs shows the same with the T2 Ultra. It's nothing bad, but you might want to know it. That's about it. For me, it's perfect. It's a very smart solution because you're going to play everything full HD like Netflix, Amazon Prime. Just your menu is going to be probably 720p. no issues there. I find it perfectly good solution, hardware based, it performs quite good and can play anything Full HD pretty good. With that being said, let me just show you some GPU performance, and then I'm going to connect the Xbox Series X and I'm going to make an evaluation about that. Let's open up the Badland. Right now I've connected my mouse, okay, just in case that remote control might not work. So as you can see, I got my mouse pointer, okay. So I'm going to reduce the room lights so you can see a better picture. This video is shot auto exposed. The reason is our eyes get adjusted. I explained with the different videos. So let's start to play single player. Right now it's running from the Android built-in. I'm using the mouse, so you can use Air mouse connected to this through the Bluetooth or USB like me. So I'm going to keep play. As you can see, it works quite fluent. So you can play Android games without any hassle. And this scene is a little dark. Okay, we're continuing. Just a little bit of drop in the beginning, but it really flows. So you can probably play Angry Birds and some of the other games. Whoa, I got really big. Okay. I think this section will give you enough of an idea. Yep. I'm going to get back, hit the home button, and it just gets back faster than you might imagine. So the menu is fine. Everything works perfectly. That's all I love about it. You can cast to it. You can connect Wi-Fi. It works pretty fast. And isn't there anything bad about this device? Let me just go to the source and get to the Xbox Series X that I connected early. Getting to the menus are very fast. I'm going to show you how it can play from USB dongle or USB hard drive, no problem. So we're going to talk about, I will open up the Xbox Series X. The bright images looks even better. Like I said, this is a 115 plus inch big size image, but in the description there are two values, 45 inch at the minimum, maximum 140 inch, and in the specification page, it's, in the description visual, it shows 180 inch, which is huge considering the brightness level of this device. You might not like to do it, but I'm going to try it for you. So this is 100, right there, stay right there, 20 inch-ish image, okay? Instead of watching like this is a pretty good picture. Just before that, going 180, I want to show you one more thing. Everybody wants this. If you connect your gaming console, okay, if you go to the TV settings, you can only see 720p and Full HD. You can't connect 4K signal into it. So because HDMI ARC and devices get smarter, Xbox knows this device is a Full HD. So you can't play the game 4K and give it through the HDMI and expect the device to get the 4K signal, so you're going to get a sharper image. But you can play YouTube 4K, just in case if you're wondering, because you can see the details of your TV right here in the Xbox menu if you're wondering. I've used it with the TV demos. So let's get back to the flight simulator. So this is a pretty sharp Xbox image. And I'm going to just change the picture from picture mode. There will be dedicated section of each of these things. I will go from here to vivid. A little bit of less dynamic range, but sharpness and punchiness increases a lot. So let's do something crazy, like I always do. I'm going to take the camera, okay? This is a huge image, and I'm going to return it into the other way. So let's start to rotation. So, okay, how long my HDMI cable is? Okay, let's go. I got lots of things going on. First, all the obstacles, let me just take my hand off. It will do it automatically. Camera is blocked, it says. That's a nice, smart act. So I can focus manually. Let me just see it. Seeing is believing. Okay. Well, normally I don't speak like this, but I am amazed with the results. I wasn't expecting this huge image to be sharp, but it is. I mean, considering the price range and considering this is a decent sensor, like small censored Full HD device, the picture is way better than I would imagine. Let me just get close at this level. This wall is from one end to another, from corner to mirror, is about 180 inch. The corner to mirror around 150 inch. If you include mirror, 185. So this is about 140 to 50 inch. In order to do it, like in the description, let me just hold it back a little bit. I have a power cable. I need to take all these things into consideration. I will take it a little bit away and try it again before getting closer with the camera. Okay, so we got lots of obstacles, sorry. So I need to do it manually. Probably it can't. Even if it can't, I get it. I can clearly see pixels. Okay, this is about it. This is as sharp as you can get with this device. And let me just get close. I will take the camera out. Okay. So this is the T2 Ultra. And this is about enable narration, it says. Okay, sorry for that. If I reopen it, text to speech. I hate this sort of stuff. Just when I try to show you something, it just fails. Let's open up the Snake Pass. Okay, I will get close. Sorry about the loading. I'm doing these things live so you can have a better idea. Okay, this is 180 inch image. And interestingly, since we got contrast and our eyes are adjusted, I'm not saying this is the brightest image that you will see, but it has a pretty good contrast and you can watch it. Let me just get close. See how sharp it is. This is the amount of sharpness. I think it's sharp enough, especially around the corners. This is the profile button, and this is the profile name. I think they are sharp enough. Of course, it's not a 4K projector. It's not a biggest sensor like over $1,000 of Full HD projector, but it gets the job done. So I will get the tool and get in front of the camera again. I will mount the camera to the tripod again. Sorry for waiting. All these things are real time. The reason behind it, I want you to understand I'm not doing anything just to make you believe this is a good device. It's what it is. So I will get in front of the camera again, but I need to take my notes. Notes have fallen. So I gotta get back. Of course, I can see pixelizations here because this is a full HD projector, and the image sensor, the price range, everything is defined by the limits of the rules. But I'm going to talk about where the T2 Ultra sits then. So it can deliver huge images like this, and I think one will need to correct the product description because it can really do 180, interestingly, and it is sharp enough at the 150, I really believe, because when you go bigger, you go far behind, like you don't get close to the biggest image, otherwise you will be looking like up high. So you can see it soft enough, little bit softer, but you will get far behind. You can watch it. So in the Wanbo lineup, where this T2 Ultra sits, which is probably one of the most important questions you guys will be asking in the comments. X5 Pro, my favorite, has 630 to 747 with the different measurements, different brightness levels of the device. So it declared at the 1100 ANSI lumens, but actually in my tests, it performed around 630 to 745. So if you're looking for something bright, then Wanbo X5 Pro is for you. But X5 Pro can't focus really sharp above 140. Even 150 is getting quite soft. So if you're going to go big, if you have to go big, if you have to fill the wall, then you might want to consider this. That's one of the things compared to X5 Pro, but it's a lot more brighter than this. Consider this is a 275 with my measurement ANSI lumen, and X5 Pro above double this, like literally close to the triple. So it will beat this projector quite a lot, but there's a price difference, of course. Mozart 1, where the Mozart 1 sits then. Mozart 1 has 900 ANSI lumen in the declaration, but in the real life test of mine, 485, double of this projector. So Mozart 1 has a better speaker, bigger case, brighter image, but also Mozart 1 gets softer above 120 or maybe 110 inch and above, it gets softer. So if you still want to go above 100, 110 inch, you can again think about the Wanbo T2 Ultra like this. And of course, X2 Max, which is one of my latest favorite projectors lately. X2 Max is 258 to 265 ANSI lumen. But of course, X2 Max doesn't have the Android license. At least it has Android 9, and DRM L1 license is a lack. But X2 Max has 2 HDMI ports, so you can add a dongle to it, and it can perform on the brightness size 258 and 265 in my measurement, pretty close to this. But it doesn't have the gimbal, so you can't really do it to the ceiling. If you want to do it projector ceiling, you need a tripod, you need a ball head. So the cost is really kills the purpose of the X2 Max compared to this if you're going to just projector upwards with the X2 Max. But its X2 Max has a slimmer case, doesn't have a gimbal. If you're going to put it on a bookshelf and leave it off there or mount it on a ceiling, you can lower the budget with smaller speaker. It doesn't have the base of the T2 Ultra. So if you're going to connect your X2 Max to a console, you can consider still X2 Max, but T2 Ultra will be my ideal choice if I'm going to start my choice from the first projector perspective, because it gets everything done, like Android license done, Netflix license done, it's a secure device done, it has autofocus, keystone correction, everything done, big picture done, gimbal done, ceiling projection done. So you got everything done here in a affordable price. But if you don't have the budget, you can really push yourself towards the X2. But again, like I told you, this is the one that really create huge picture without a focus softness issue, and it really performs good. The only thing this device is lacking compared to the others is a little bit of autofocus speed. It's really performs quite closer to the DaVinci 1 Pro, which was one of the slower models. Like X5 Pro is fast, Mozart 1 is fast, X5 Pro and X5 is the fastest, I guess. Other than that, I have no really complaints about this device. It's optically sealed, and that's another thing. If you're living in a dusty environment, you can put your choice to the T2 Ultra. So I think I covered a lot of things. This is not a total Wanbo buying guide I made early, but you get the idea. If you're looking for all-in-one solution, T2 Ultra is the one to go. But if you're looking for a lower budget friendly model, early T2 Max New will get the job done for majority of people. Even the 720p DALI one is one of my favorites for small rooms. So you need to decide, what do you need? If you're going to go below 100 inch, you might not go as high as T2 Ultra. T2 Max New could get the job done quite easily. If you're looking for Android license, built-in everything, then okay, T2 Ultra. If you're looking for just Netflix license, you might wanna keep things small, then Wanbo T2 might be your option. But this is the latest one, getting the updates faster, and 50 milliseconds is a gaming capable device, and it could be updated later on since this is a latest device. I think this is the one to go if you're going to choose something, but choose careful between the specs. My personal favorite is X5 Pro because it's the brightest one, but of course, it's about the cash you have, it's about the size you want to achieve. But this really changed my opinion about how big you can go with the 275 ANSI lumen. Yes, you can go big, and you can really watch this and you can enjoy it, because after a while your eyes get adjusted. I am telling you this, I'm regularly using 3600 ANSI lumen laser projector, triple laser projector. So even that really impresses me for the price range and the size. Of course, this section is over, and you're going to see the throw ratio and everything. If you have questions, you can ask. I will be leaving you with the different sections where you will see the close-ups, pixel-based picture quality, USB thumb drive capabilities, and everything. And don't forget to like and subscribe. This video has been shot at 1 o'clock late at night in my very little free time. So until the next video, hoşça kalın. Don't skip any parts. Just watch this video until the end if you are ever going to buy the Wanbo T2 Ultra. Hope to see you in the next video, home cinema and tech review. And let's just give this beast a 4K video before finishing. Since we have YouTube from Xbox, we can play 4K footage, right? So we can go 8K clarity and Dolby Vision Wildlife. This is just from here. As you can see, this is a 4K video, which is the best way to do it. This is a 4K footage playing internal of Full HD projector. I think the picture is good. And before the end of this section, I will get the projector closer so you will see the difference of the autofocus performance. We got still obstacles along the way. I just want you to see how it performs, the autofocus. It takes this much of a amount of time. This is bigger than 100 inch, by the way. This is about 120 inch-ish. And I think the image really shines about 120. You can really watch it. If you give it a 4K signal, you can really enjoy this projector. You can enjoy also Full HD internally, but like I always say, give the best signal in the video. You will enjoy more. and you're seeing the 120-inch-ish image with a 4K signal into it, at least from the YouTube perspective. Pretty good image, considering the price, of course. So, let me know what you think under the comment section again. This section is over, and we're going to talk to you in the different sections with the different settings. In this section of the video, we're going to be taking a look at the picture settings of the Wanbo T2 Ultra. Right now we are playing a 4K video from Xbox Series X, and that's the best picture that you can achieve by giving the 4K video. When you hit the picture settings on the right, the settings appears, and the picture mode is here. So we can color temperature. Right now we are at standard. We can go warm, we can go cool, and we can go user and tune it as far as we desire, but standard is fine for now. So I'm going to play with the picture modes. Go from here. We got a PC mode. When we activate it, PC mode, things get little, I think, sharper. I will cancel it and go to, right now we are in the soft mode. The reason behind, the softer you go, the more high dynamic range you have. Let me just show you that by going back that high exposure scene of this probably coral reef or something. Let's just stop here. So I am playing from Xbox and I've stopped. So when I go from soft to the vivid, you will see some of the loss that potentially could happen with you. And that's not a bad thing for this price range. It's also same thing with the X5 Pro and the others. So I'm going from soft to standard. Take a look at high areas. It is punched out. Softer you go on the soft settings, color punchiness, the saturation goes lower. And also when you go standard, some of the sharpening effects are applied. So you got a sharper, punchier image. Which one do I prefer? I would continue regularly. If you're not an enthusiast on the tonings, you would choose standard. But when you go with it, take a look at this. This areas from standard to with it, some of the things are highlighted and lost. I will show you in the different sections. When you go soft, you got everything in the dynamic range. When you go user, this is my user setup, but I highly suggest try to find the scene for yourself, like get your best picture or most played game. I made a dedicated video how you can tune it with the X5 Pro. Go back and watch that video. This won't be too much of a long video. I pushed the sharpness a little bit because these devices are full HD, and you're going to, if push the limits above 100 inch, just push some sharpness into it, like 65 is my kind of tone. Saturation is up to your taste, but the brightness wise, I will go a little bit 45. If you go higher on the brightness, you will lose the contrast, and if you push the contrast, you will lose the dynamic range. You got limitations. This is not HLG, HDR tunable device. So get that in mind, and you're paying and you're getting a lot what you paid for. And this is the picture quality settings that I could show it to you. Adding a sharpness really makes sense. When it comes down to the settings, let's go to Xbox main menu. Okay, I accidentally hit the menu button and go from here. I need to go HDMI again to Xbox Series X. Let's go to the menu, go to Flight Simulator, so we can have again similar scene, because Flight Simulator has sky. What you understand with the tones, if you go brighter, let me just come around here and skip this part, skip it. Yep, this is the main menu, and I will show you the same scene. Look at the sky, okay? This is, I know, getting longer, but you gotta understand it. Watch the main video and get back to it. If I do soft, let's just wait for the sky and up high. Soft details, and just wait a while. I'm waiting for sky. Yeah, some of the things are gone. Soft, and just wait a while. some of the punchiness. Some things are looking punchier, but dynamic range might be your taste. For me, it's something between. That's about picture quality, but this is really awesome, and you don't feel when you play games the latency. Like 50 is for casual games quite good, and going from 24 to 50, it really depends. Like, it's not fixed latency, so you might enjoy it more than that you think, and the later updates could solve some of the things. And if you know such a stuff when you're watching, write at the comment section later on. In this section of the video, I'm going to get close to picture sharpness uniformity or clarity uniformity. Right now it's in the standard mode, because standard is something between of sharp and vivid punchiness, extra sharpness like this. I will show you with a dynamic range something between the standard. I will go from this corner, and as you can see, pretty sharp, and I will go like here, quite sharp, and I will go up above to very small text here, it's quite sharp, and I will go from here. This is a full HD device, so consider this when you're consider pixel based sharpness around. So this is another edge, as you can see, is pretty sharp, although my surface is like distortion at the end. Around the corner we got a pretty much good text, so you can use this in terms of if you want to use it with Excel files and stuff. But in this section of the video, I'm going to use my thumb drive, so to show you, because you guys are wondering, you really can play from USB socket of this device, and I will tell you some things there's to know about it. So we're going to use the internal Android. As you can see, the file manager I've installed later on. It's not coming with the file manager. So as you can see right now, I got my Kingston logo up top. I'm going to go there, so I can see it, I can click it, I can browse. So it asks me, shows me the size. So I got a file manager plus. I've downloaded this app from the Google Play. So I'm going to show you some movies. These are downloaded, but normally I buy everything with license. I have a Blu-ray archive, which I keep in the studio. Right now my wife doesn't want them because physically they're taking a lot of space. So I've downloaded only the movies that I got the license for. But in this sense, in terms of showing you, I've downloaded a couple of stuff, so you will see some movies, but always purchase the licensed one. And in terms of any potential copyright issues, I don't want to play the videos for long. So when it comes down to the films, you got the latest movies, Wild Robot 2024. This is downloaded from a Blu-ray rip, a H.264 codec. So it's a full HD video. I'm not playing 4K, and I will have to stop the video. Okay, don't worry about that. I won't be, in terms of things, I will go forward, and as you can see, going forward is quite easy. Let's play and stop. In terms of any potential copyright issue, you can play any 4K movies. And I've also installed MX Player. You can install Kodi. Since you got the Android, you can install anything and you can play. But you can't play 4K videos, just in case you're wondering. If you're going to play 4K, you gotta go X5 Pro or DaVinci One Pro. Those are capable to play 4K internally YouTube, and probably their acceleration will support you to play 4K content. But if you're so picky, get yourself a mini PC and play your movies from there, because it's kind of like the thing that all the guys are asking. If you want to do everything in one device, this device is $200 range. With the discounts, it's even less than $200. So it's giving a big picture and everything. You got to stop in some point. Expectations needs to be potentially, fixed the price range. That's about it. So it can play from YouTube, from USB, and the only thing that I want to tell you in this point that I probably haven't mentioned in the conclusion is if you got a Bluetooth speaker or earphone or a headphone, okay, if you connect your, because I mentioned this with the X5 Pro too, many of the Android devices does the same. If you have a Android dongle built inside, and if you connect your Bluetooth system, sound system, to that Android device, if you switch to the HDMI, you can't hear the audio. So those two separate things, like when you hit the source button, when you go from USB, that's the source. When you go to HDMI, that's the source. When you go hit the Android TV like ATV, which is here, Android TV, when you home button, Android is separate. When you connect yourself Android, you can't hear the HDMI sound from your Bluetooth. So you have to listen to your Xbox. You gotta plug in to your Xbox controller, or you gotta connect your earbuds or headphones to the Xbox or PlayStation itself through the Bluetooth. So that's just a reminder. That's about it. This section is over. In this section of the video, I will show you how autofocus, auto keystone and everything works, how fast it is, because everybody wants to see. I will rotate the projector and get it back. You need a sturdy surface. My stand is not perfectly stand still, but it gets the job done and it will fit automatically. It just takes a little bit seconds, couple of seconds, so it's not fast as X5 Pro. If you're going to compare with the other models, DaVinci Pro 1, DaVinci 1 Pro and X5 Pro is faster, of course, but this is an Android device and gets the job done. Works pretty quick, if you ask me, and that's about it. This section is over. This part of the video, I want to show you how the stand really works and makes sense. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to try to get out from this angle and get this stand out of the projector. It's a lot harder than you think because it's fixed. So this is the setup and I rotate it. See what happens. This is the probably use scenario which majority of people will use. It will take a couple of seconds. We got a distortion because we are projecting with an angle. Let's see how it's going to correct. It's perfectly clear, perfectly working, and that's the scenario. It's very easy to use, but of course you're using a digital skewing. This is a digital image correction Keystone. I suggest to get a stand for the perfect straight angle. I explained in early videos, but still this is a perfect way to use, very easy and very convenient. This section is over. In this section of the video, I will show you Wanbo T2 Ultra with an angle. First, I will get it closer, okay? Right now, it's a smaller TV size. It's about 65 and above inches. A little bit of above than 65. But what happens if you want to lay low on the ground? Because you're going to take this, okay? You're going to take this projector, and I'm going to show you my personal viewing angle because of a lot of cables. Sorry about that. So you're going to see it something like this. You're going to be able to rotate it up to the ceiling. So what happens is, if you lay it like a bed, this will look like what happens. I will readjust the focus just by holding it, changing the angle, and you will lay down like this. And this will make sense, believe me. This will really make sense because I will take the camera and show you what I see. Right now, what I see on the ceiling, from the ground up, the ceiling height is about 330 in my flat. So basically what I see right now is about, I can call it 80-inch-ish. So I will get the image, just like I see. I will walk to the ground. This is the projector. Up firing, okay? I will lay down just like I did just a second ago. I will lay down my feet and I will look up like this. I am laying underground and take it upwards and I'm rotating. You can see the light fixture, how huge the image is. And this is about 85-inch image, and this is what I see. If I rotate it clearly, this is what I see. If you're going to put it on the ground, it feels like a cinema. But if you're going to put it on a right beside a bedroom unit, it will be smaller, like 75-ish. It's not going to be still small. It's going to be a big TV, but I suggest you go to put it on the ground, because if you put it on the ground, you will have a huge image right in front of you, and right before you sleep, it will be like a cinema on the ceiling. And right now I'm very close to the speaker, so it is really performing just like probably 5 or 10 times bigger than itself. And that's about it. This section is over. Let me just get up, and camera is trying to adjust, and this is about it. This is the ceiling. Welcome to the box opening section of the Wanbo T2 Ultra. Here it comes with a carton box, outer box, as you can see. So the first thing is we need to get the box out. The ideal way to open up top and reverse it. This is the section that I mostly excited, because this is the first time that I actually see the projector close up just like you, and probably you're going to go back and forth in the video so you can have an idea. On the side, we got a clear idea of full glass lens, full HD logo, and full HD text, Android autofocus, 2 5-watt speakers, which means we got 10 watts of proper speakers, and we got 3 modes actually. One is straight, the second is kind of like angle to 45 up high, and the ceiling, most probably interesting part of it, like 120 rotating stand, which is main part of the Wanbo T2 Ultra. I think this is one of the probably most practical model for small cases from Wanbo, because these leg designs really improve the usability, and definitely everybody asked up-firing projector style. We have autofocus logo, Android logo, and 10-watt speaker logo. And in this section, we got the name of, let me just cover the serial number, but as we can see, it is 1.5 kilos, and it says 2 amp max, the power output and hertz levels. The model is WPD24 T2 Ultra. So I know it's taking a little more time. Enjoy unlimited. And after that, we got a user manual. It's a long user manual, like always. We are, used to see this sort of detail. Let me just show it. This is a huge list. I will show you what is important about this. This shows don't open up the device for safety precautions, what you should be doing. Projector part name and functions, they also showed that. And installation adjustment, and you can also use it in a reverse mode, as you can see here. That's a nice touch to the ceiling lifted brackets that you can buy from different brands, and also from Wanbo probably, and user remote control and mobile app phone with the same screen. Mobile phone with the same screen. It says Android and iPhone, so you got a casting instructions here, and AirPlay and screen mirror, how you can do it. The most important part, as I always try to show you, and in the video you're going to see it in the different sections. Here you can see the inches, 45 projector size from 1.2 meter, 50-inch 1.5, 60-inch 1.6. Most common is 100-inch from 3.7 meters, 120 3.3, and 150 4.2. So 150 is a huge number for different brightness levels. We're going to try to look at that. And at the bottom, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram accounts. This is the user manual. I know you are excited and waiting for the projector. And in the rest of the box, I think this is interesting because of the leg. It has the box inside. I will show you that. And there is no other thing inside of the box. How they place it is kind of like logical, makes sense. The projector has a leg, as you know, and they put the box content inside of like this. It's a logical way. It's also a protective layer, so it's not going to be meshed up just in case in the shipment. That's a nice touch. So it says a Wanbo logo here. Let me just rotate this leg and put the projector up high like this. Maybe for you, a little bit angled. So user manual, that's a touch. That's a nice touch. I will get the box aside. And what else do we have? We got a Wanbo logo here, just float over. Nothing else in the box. User remote control and the power cable, which I like. Power cable is easily be changeable. This is one of the types that I like. The power input is inside, so you can extend the cable, place this anywhere. I really like this design, makes it more portable and more easy to use in different scenarios. So other than this, I got a remote control. Let me just take it from the cover out. And it runs with two AAA small batteries. And as always, since we have the license, Netflix, Disney Plus, Prime Video, YouTube, and all the other buttons like focus buttons, up and down, volume, mute, projector settings, default settings, source and user, and voice command, and also navigation. I wish this was a white one. I also wish that with many Wanbo models, if you buy a white version of the different models like Wanbo, I would have liked to see some white remote controls, just like Mozart 1, because Mozart 1 has a white remote, just really matches with the projectors. But that's not a big deal. So I will get the camera closer and closer. Okay, we're really close right now. So we're going to take a look at the T2 Ultra. So on the front, we got a glossy surface. When I move it around, you're going to able to see. Here you see the reflections of the room setup right now. So this is a front glossy element. We got focus, autofocus, and obstacle avoidance, kind of like a sensors on the front. That's normal. So this device has all the practicality that we potentially need from a projector. And on the side angle, you're going to see something like ventilation holes here. We got a speaker, probably holes here. And at the back, I will talk about it in a second, a bass unit. And around here, we got another speaker hole, which designed quite logically, good placed, and also quite detailed, if you ask me. Like, this is literally pretty solid, and it's also going a little bit inside, like a golf ball design. It's cut through, not flat, but with a texture and also depth, as you can see here with my fingers. So other than that, up top, you got a power button. That's normal from Wanbo. We all used to that. At the back, other ones, small models like T2, TT, they all had up top, since we have the speaker, passive speaker probably here, we're going to have the HDMI and the USB at the bottom. That's another logical thing to make sense. I will talk about it. This is the headphone jack, 3.5mm jack, and these are probably sensors like IR and stuff. And this is the power input, which suits at the bottom. So we have the leg. This is the most important part, and the silicone based or rubber based at the bottom. This is pretty solid. Really feels heavy duty, considering this is a 1.5 kilo small device. It's very practical, and you can hold it without any, getting tired. This screw hole is just suitable for any kind of like tripod. So I'm going to use it in the video, so you're going to see it, no problem. So we can rotate this projector here like this, up top to the ceiling, and even so a little bit more up towards. So as you can see, this is the side view. And if you call this flat, this is the flat positioning right up top, ceiling projected. And you can even go a little bit further. So you can use this upwards, and also if you put it on a bookshelf, downwards. But here, as a limitation, as you can see, this is a 120 degree, not going all the way from here to here, 180 degree. This is kind of like a little bit limited, but of course you won't be needing other than this much of an angle, because this is a huge. I'm going to probably show you in the other sections. Don't worry about this. This is just the physical part. So how tough is this part? Like, is it really hard? Let me just try it for you. Hold it. It's smooth enough, and it's also sturdy enough for this sort of device. It doesn't feel like this is a solid metal, like a highest of the highest titanium kind of like feeling, but it will probably hold it pretty solid. I didn't expect, since all the materials are plastic, I didn't expect to be this smooth quality. It's really good, but this is a not heavy device, and the bottom part is not heavy like external weight by the metal plate. So you have to hold it if you're going to put it on a bookshelf style, and if you're going to move it like this, you might want to hold it a little bit because the weight is not too much. This portability issue creates a 1.5 total kilo. That's why it is light. And if you move it fast, you need to be careful what you're doing. Other than that, it's interestingly practical. So you can hold it also like this when you're carrying, but I don't think it's a useful idea. So at the bottom, we got, again, a sticker, T2 Ultra logo here. And other than that, I guess I don't have anything else to tell you. The lens size is 2 fingers. It's not like X5 or Mozart 1. The glass seems a little smaller, but it's not going to be affecting our judgment. We're going to take a look at the picture quality as always, how it's going to perform. And at the back, this is the, let me just turn it around so if you can see it. If the camera can take, I will probably show you with the different angles. Yes, here it is, Wanbo acoustics. This is the thing that matters. As you can see, I'm moving in and out. The separate sound test will be launched with the projector review itself, but in a different video, just in case of getting a copyright issues. I will test with a lot of different audio files and videos as always. So it will be separate but depth. So this is what we see with the Wanbo Mozart 1 or DaVinci 1 kind of like solutions. If you're giving a volume to the audio, you need extra space for the bass. So that's why what the Wanbo is doing with this device. So you got a 2 side firing speakers, stereo speakers, 5 watts, total 10 watts, but you need a little bit of oomph to the bass. So this is a passive drive, actually improves the internal cavity. So there could be a little bit of space in here, and we're going to talk about in the specs, but once you have an external moving part, that'll also increase the acoustics for the bass. So I am sure with the TT and T2 Max and early X2 Max kind of like experiments that I had over the years, probably this will sound quite good, and you're going to witness in the different sections that I make the conclusion. So this is the physical part. What is interesting is, for me, this power cable up front, if I'm going to count this as a negative, let me just check and tell you how we can change this. If we hold the cable, install the cable here, this could be a matter for some people. If you're going to, project to a ceiling, yes, this really gets the design part done. As you can see, it rotates with you. So this could have been a little smaller, but this handle and the leg really can cover it up if you're going to up-fire it. Really smart design. Another tick from me, because I thought in the first section when I saw the cable, I thought to myself, there could be some special cable. This might not handle the gap, but this really, let me just show you on the side. This side, it really gets the gap without too much of a bending. So this is great to see. So you can place this anywhere. And these cables are pretty cheap, and you can find extended models. I would probably get myself a 5-meter cable, or 3 at least, because I'm going to put it probably on a shelf to use this, as compact as it can be. So this box section and the physical parts are over. If you ask me what kind of a build quality that the T2 Ultra has, it's not the T2 Max anymore. It feels, when you touch it, as a plastic base, and material wise, these areas like this, as you can see, little glossy, and around here, let me just get my hand to get the focus. As you can see, there are glossy parts here. All the details makes you feel this is Mozart 1 level of build quality. I'm not over exaggerating. It is better than the T2 Max or T4 level build quality. And for some cases, if you love the, of course, cloth outside casing and the more brightness, it's not DaVinci 1 style. DaVinci 1 is one of the coolest designs, but still, I really love the Wanbo Mozart 1 design, and this is a continuity with a practicality and also keeping things compact. So this is the physical parts, and you can continue through the rest. Welcome to full menu of Wanbo T2 Ultra. Basically, we have Android here, and we're going to take a look at what it offers. On the top left, click Speak. By the way, the ratio right now is about 21:9. It's kind of like a custom ratio, but it's a skewed image. Don't focus on the ratio. This is just to show you the menu, because I show you with default 16:9 ratio in the other sections of the video. This video will be a couple of days in different time zones has been shot. So this is the setup right now. So it's not the 16:9 ratio. Some of the things could be larger than what you are going to see in the real aspect ratio. On the top we got home, on the right we got shop if you want to buy movies, and on the top right we got apps. As you can see, Netflix, Prime Video, YouTube, Google Play Music, Google Play Store, and Google Play Kodi and VLC added by me later on. It's not coming with the device. And on the top right we got the settings, and of course home cinema and tech review account. Let's go to the home page. As you can see, we got Netflix and some of the recommendations from the Netflix, and bottom YouTube recommendations, since I'm testing projectors with this account. As you can see, lots of test videos with high definition, and at the bottom of this, top selling movies, and then under that, recently added, and after that, VLC player and what I played through the VLC player from my archive drive, and below the things that you want to use it, like Disney Plus and stuff like that. So this is a general Android as we know it. I'm going to go faster. Shop normal. I'm not going to show you anything else. And here we are. When we hit the settings, this is one of the important parts. This is a simple device. When it comes down to the settings, set your device name. You can do it. Network, account, and sign in. Right now it's signed in already. Device preferences, as we can check some stuff. I will come to that. When we hit apps, see all the apps permissions, special apps access, and security restrictions. So if you want to see all the apps that installed to the device, just in case if you want to remove anything, you can hit here and you can continue. I'm going to come back. This is basic Android, by the way. So device preferences and remote and accessories. Right now it's connected to remote controller itself. This is a perfect working Bluetooth remote controller, as you can see, Remote G10, but you can connect your earbuds, headphones. I've already connected my Liberty Air 2, I guess, from Soundcore. So I use it with the earbuds. Quite fun, actually. So when you come at the stage of device preferences, you go to About. As you can see, we got Netflix license and also legal information. It says itself device name. We got system update if you hit that. And other than that, we have model TV stick, Android TV OS, security patch level, as you can see, 2024 August 5, kernel and build of Android OS. So this is about that, and if you hit system update, it will check itself. Date and time, you can change it. Language, you get all the languages in the world with the Google. TV, keyboard, you can add a keyboard later on with an additional 2. Display and sound, screen resolution, as you can see, 1080p Full HD 60 Hz, color space settings, auto switch best resolution, that's a nice touch, and HDR policy, always HDR if possible. So when you hit here, as you can see the modes, YCBCR 444, or again 12-bit, 10-bit, 8-bit, 12-bit, but CR422 if you have such a device to connect, and then RGB 12-bit, 10-bit, and 8-bit. Those are nice touches to get the signals. And screen positioning. Okay, this is the resolution. If you hit display mode, as you can see, we have lots of display modes. If you like things in a different direction, you can change it. If you're going to record from a camera, if you're going to smooth things out for your shutter speed. So screen position, zoom in, zoom out, current scaling is 100%. Zoom in the screen. When you zoom in and zoom out the screen, as you can see, zoom out actually kind of like zooming in, but basically what it does, it can go to 80% and zooming all the way in, as you can see, and that's about it. Other than that, HDMI SAC switch allow the TV to control HDMI devices. Like with the HDMI ARC, you can control your soundbar, and you can control your soundbar through this. So many people ask, you got HDMI ARC 1.4. Auto change language, change HDMI device's language with the same with the TV, like this device. So system sounds on, advanced sound settings, select formats. Here we can go auto or none, never use the surround sound. I think I will leave it at auto. I'm happy with the general sound quality. Other than that, storage, we got 8 GB of ROM and 1 GB of RAM with this device. I'm going to come back. And we got the home screen, Google Assistant if you're going to use it, Google Cast, like Android and iOS can cast to this device without any problem. Screensaver, that's a nice touch if you're going to watch a scene or potentially a picture that you want to see. Energy saver, as you can see, turn off the display. Right now it's never, but you can create a turn off display settings. Location, you can add the location. Usage diagnostics, accessibility when you hit it, captions, high contrast text, text to speech, and talkback, switch access, and SDT accessibility services, and restart. That is the device preferences. And about that, the menu is finished. When you go up top, you can hit your account, and if you want to add account, you can add account, change it, manage multiple accounts in the same device. When you hit settings on the right side of your remote control, here you have the technical settings of image correction. Image correction contains auto picture focus, which it can automatically do. If I hit it, let's see, it will give us black and white points, so it can automatically focus easily. This is kind of like a focus assist. Auto keystone correction, if we do that, right now my personal keystone probably will go away. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to show you in the different sections of the video, don't worry. 4-point trapezoid correction, I can change it like that. Right now, as you can see, it's not 0. Right top is 76, bottom right is 68, bottom left is 96, and up left is 156. So this is a quite skewed image from an angle. Auto screen alignment is another thing if you got objects in front of the screen or any kind of like side angle. If you're going to project, it can automatically align the screen. That's all that there is to need that if you're going to use an auto projector. Let's go to the image correction menu again. Smart obstacle avoidance, if you have kids and if you don't want to hurt your eyes while looking at the projector, you can open them up and down. Right now, I got a couch at the left, and you're going to see it on the corner. Let's see how it's been dealing with it. It will progress. It is taking a little bit more time than the X5. As you can see, it just skipped the left couch and shrink the image. So I'm going to hit back to the button, and image correction wise, I'm going to reset the keystone, okay? So you can see how much of a distortion that I got. This is not the right way to project, but as you can see, image was huge. I skewed it and turned it into 21:9 ratio. Smart optical avoidance is a nice touch, as you already seen just a couple of seconds ago. It can fit the screen just if there was an obstacle. Display scale. Display scale is the digital zoom itself, so we can go in. The other one was like, for us, 80%, but as you can see, I can go 50%. So this is great if you're going to watch it as a TV, if you have one placement, fixed on a ceiling, fixed on a bookshelf, fixed on a wall. So it's up to you. For me, it's always 100%. I will go back and forth with the projector to get the best. There will be another tutorial about this. When you come to the picture, you got color temperature and picture mode. Color temperature is right now standard. You could go warm, you could go cool, and you can go user. That's a nice touch. we can adjust every bit of things as it's supposed to be. Picture mode. When you come to the picture mode, you got a PC mode above, standard, vivid, soft, and user. When you come to the user, you got a lot of things to adjust. But I'm going to continue through the vivid. Just the sake of this section of the video, it's going to be more brighter. Audio mode. We got a key volume, standard, news, music, movie, sports, and user. When you go to the user, you can even play with the hertz levels, just in case if you want to create your own equalizer. Other than that, we got input support, input page. Boot panel is right now, you can change the boot from Android TV to HDMI, but it right now starts with Android TV. Game mode right now is off. We can make it on and you will see the latency in the different section. HDMI control is here. If you want to open up the ARC and control devices through the HDMI with ARC support, and device auto power off and CSC device list. Input source, as you can see, Android TV, HDMI, and USB. If you're going to play movies from USB, you can go to that USB input. Language, like I told you, you can choose any language since it's Android. When you go to the about, device name, device code, system version, and resolution. As you can see, it's full HD. When you hit the resolution, doesn't mean anything. You can change it from here. So the last settings we have, advanced settings. Projection method. Right now we got front. As you can see, rear, front ceiling, and rear ceiling. That means you can mount it on a ceiling and project from backwards. You got many options. Autofocus on the boot, autofocus on the move, auto keystone boot, auto keystone move, auto obstacle avoidance, user calibration guide, system update, factory reset. So if you're going to keep the projector in the same place like a bookshelf, you can cancel the auto focus boot. So projector does not have to focus every time that you boot it. Autofocus move is actually, if you're going to move the projector one place to another, it's another need. Auto keystone boot, if you're going to keystone on the boot while it's booting, it will do the job for you, then okay, but for me it's not necessary. I would also cancel a couple of these too if I'm going to place it on a bookshelf and leave it on there. Auto keystone move, as you can see, auto obstacle avoidance, close right now, but you can open it up. User calibration guide is a nice touch. When you hit it, it says this device has been calibrated to the factory. If you have no abnormalities device screen, please do not repeat the calibration. That's a nice smart quote there. So system update is right now updated, and rest is of course going back. So this is the picture settings when you hit it on the settings. But what happens if you hit person icon on the remote control? On the left we got the same menu, picture mode, color temperature, sound mode. Basically the same thing but much more faster. Otherwise I hit the settings on the keyboard, or sorry, the mouse, and then go to the picture, and then from there picture mode, and then there user. But if I hit the left button, everything seems much more easy. I can do anything I need about the screen to be changed. Other than that, let's hit home button. Let's go back. So we got Netflix, YouTube, and Prime logos on the device. I think other than that, if I hit the settings button, this will occur, and that's about it. This was the entire menu. If you